And it don't stop. Yeah. Mr. Real Talk, the metaphor Messiah. Bow down to the king of kings. Bow down to the king. We talking legendary coming soon. The mixtape. Black stars.
I bring the battle to you. If we were the same size, you couldn't fit in my shoes. Bear crown for the infinite. You better check your insolence. Careers get flushed, the same toilet that you pissed in. This rap's just a piece of tiramisu. They should've kept it independent. Ask Schoolboy Q. Lay siege to your throne. You are fucking with Capone. She ain't fucking with me. She fucking one of my clones. Nasty with the similes. Monster with a metaphor. She can suck a mean one. Why you think I'm metaphor? Beat stay knocking through your ears and your spinal cord. Hating on the youth. Use a lame and a dinosaur. Fuck that. I am king to this hip hop. Trying to find a clue, you a G. Matlock, never see the day I break bread with my enemies. The mixtape out, baby, special delivery. Now that's a special delivery.
There we go. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Dead on Dave. I just realized I had my damn microphone off, but hey, that's okay, because I think we're good now. My bad. My bad. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. Happy Halloween. Post-Halloween. There you go. I'm trying to let everybody know in the chat. Look, sorry about that. Well, look, we're good now. The audio is working. My bad. It is your boy, Dead on Dave. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel for those of you returning. Hope you guys had a great post-Halloween day today. There's no football going on, so why not spend it with your boy, Dead on Dave? Totally just, I turn off my microphone when my intro's playing, and I forgot to turn it back on. Because I'm terrible at what I do. At least I'm consistent with the fact that I'm terrible at what I do. But that's okay. So check it out, man. I'm glad you guys are here. Spending the hour before all the other NFL kickoff games. Detroit's getting blown out, so there's nothing to watch there. So we got an hour before the NFL start, the other game starts. So why not spend it with your boy, Dead on Dave? We got a lot to talk about, man. I'm very excited. We got NFL stuff, maybe, probably not. But we're going to start with wrestling. Got a bunch of wrestling stuff to talk about. We've got television stuff. There's a new show out that I really want to talk about that I'm losing my mind for. I'm so excited about it. I can't even begin to tell you. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk World Series and so much more, man. Whatever you guys want to talk about, you just let me know. Taking your calls live on Skype at David Vancura, DavidVancura. And, of course, the new number, 702-751-2902. So we got all that. Make sure you're calling if you have anything you want to talk about, or just leave your stuff in the chat. I'm looking for a goddamn moderator for somebody who thinks that they can uphold a position with integrity. power and strength. Doesn't look like Terry's here today, so she's usually my moderator. But if somebody else wants to step into the role, just let me know. Let's start with the Young Bucks, man. I titled it that way, so let's start with the Young Bucks. They made news this week. They finally have signed with an organization, and apparently, according to all the sources out there on the dirt sheets, that the Young Bucks talked to every major organization in the world, basically, and including WWE and TNA, but they made their decision, and it really shouldn't be a shock to anyone to sign long-term and exclusively with Ring of Honor. Now, it makes a lot of sense for that to be the case, because let's face it, they're going to still be able to work with whoever they want working with Ring of Honor, and that appears to be the case. They're still going to be able to work with New Japan. Jay Cardi, congratulations. You got the wrench of destiny. You got the wrench of destiny, Jay Cardi. Congratulations. So, like I was saying, they can work with New Japan where they're part of the Bullet Club, so it makes a lot of sense there, and they're probably going to have free reign to work with a lot of other things as well. So it made a lot of sense for them to sign with them. Reality, I don't know how much interest WWE was going to have anyway. Let's be fair here. TNA probably didn't have the money. I don't think the WWE really sees too much in the Young Bucks. And look, they're a good tag team. I'm not one of these big Young Bucks pushers. They're tiny little guys. I hate the fact they do a lot of the gimmicky shit that they do. So I'm not the biggest Young Bucks fans in the world. I think that they are a smaller and less talented Hardy Boys. I really do. That's how I feel about them. And that's just it to it. So Ring of Honor is probably a good place for people wondering where they can watch Ring of Honor. It's now on Destination America, but be careful, because if you watch more than a half hour of Ring of Honor, you're probably going to get eye cancer. Just how it is. The quality is so bad. You're going to get eye cancer. You're going to see some remarkable kickouts at 2 and all of that stuff, but you're going to get the eye cancer. So be careful with that. It's not good. See, every wrestling thing has its thing. You got WWE. You're going to take your good and your bad. Sometimes it's going to be damn near unwatchable or so PG that some of you are going to be turned off. TNA is probably going to have the most ridiculous storylines that are still a wrestling program. The absolute real ridiculous storylines go to Lucha, and you might get hepatitis from watching that grainy program, but there's entertainment to go around for everywhere. But Ring of Honor will give you eye cancer, and you got to be careful. Pittsburgh Boy says, the reason you probably didn't choose me is because I probably won't notice any bullshit today. Yeah, you said you're not feeling good, Pittsburgh Boy. What do you want me to do? Give you the moderator job, and then you're too sick to do it? Yeah, that's exactly why. Liam's the name, 10. What if I'm in Europe? Can I watch online? Absolutely you can. It's very easy, and there's plenty of places that you can do it, but I'm not going to put them out there. Isaac A says, he's a racist to Carolina Panthers fans. No, I'm a teamist. I hate Carolina. I'm a statist, I guess. I hate Carolina. I'm a teamist because I hate the Panthers. I'm a camist because I can't stand Cam Newton, but I'm not a racist. I just can't stand Super Cam. I can run a yard and pull my shirt off. No, not a fan. Nice 3 picks the other day, dickhead. This is not to you, Isaac. It's to Cam. I'm just not a Cam guy. I'm just not a Cam guy. If he came on the show, I would probably be a Cam guy. Yes, Mr. Newton. Yes, Mr. Newton. Thank you for being here. You're great. You're great. No. Don't send this to Cam Newton. He's a big guy. He'll beat the shit out of me. So, yeah, it scares me. So, there you go. Young Bucks signed with Ring of Honor. What do you guys think of that? To me, it's really not a big, it's not a huge thing. You know, it's not a big, it's a little deal in the grand scope of things, because it's basically where they were basically at anyway. I mean, nothing changes with this signing. They're still going to basically be able to go where they want, and most importantly, New Japan. So, it works out for them, and we'll see. I mean, Ring of Honor is going through a weird transition period as well right now. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out long term. But I don't know if WWE ever had serious interest in the Young Bucks, because you got to figure, if it's a matter of money, WWE is going to get who they want, plain and simple. I think that kind of got proven with Del Rio. They're throwing a lot of money at Del Boringo, let me tell you. And so it's not a matter of money. There's no question about that. So it's just a matter of interest. It's just a matter of interest is what it is. Isaac A., you picked a kid, Dave. Oh, yeah, it looks like I did. You're right, Isaac. I did pick a kid. I'm going to have to go with something a little more adulty. So, Isaac, you're the new moderator. There you go. You're the new moderator, Isaac. You hit me with the adult reason, and it works. Yeah, Jake, 14. I don't know. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just you're 14. And it's funny that I did. Don't be all mad, Jake. Don't get all pissed off that I took you out there. So there you go. Let's. So we got that news out of the way. The Young Bucks signing with Ring of Honor. Let's talk about the other big news in wrestling, man. Jerry the King Lawler getting into a car accident last night. A rather severe one. It was reported initially on, of all people, Jamie Dundee. He's a wrestler. Jamie Dundee's Facebook page last night, he said that Brian Christopher contacted him. That's Jerry King Lawler's son. Yes, that's right. Grandmaster Sexay Brian Christopher contacted him and told him that Lawler was in an accident, but him and his girlfriend are fine. Lauren has a little banged up knee and a swollen face, but they're completely fine. So that's how the news broke. Jerry Lawler has since commented. He posted pictures of the crash. Here is one of them. Does not look good. And he tweeted out the following. He said, at Lauren 911, that's his girlfriend, and I were in a car crash last night. She spent 4 hours in the emergency room, but is home now. We were lucky. And then he would post a little bit later on, we were in a car crash. Lucky things weren't worse than they were last night. My car is not so lucky. Yeah, that car got fucked up. So Jerry Lawler is in a car accident last night, but appears to be fine, and more than likely won't miss Monday Night Raw. Or SmackDown. He's on SmackDown now, wherever the hell he is. Unfortunately, as much as I love Jerry Lawler, I just don't want him on commentary anymore. But that doesn't mean I want him in a car crash either. So I hope that him and his girlfriend are okay, and I'm glad that they seem to be okay. And State Farm, Allstate, one of those good places that you're good to go, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. There you go. And your car should be fixed, right? And can I get a hot tub? Something like that, right? That's how that works, right? All you got to do is say the jingle and it works. Is that how it works? I don't know. So, there you go. Kyle Lord says, Dave, do you think the Royals will win tonight? Yes, I do. I think more than likely they're going to take care of business. The Mets, if you don't know, are now down 3-1 in the World Series. The World Series. Down 3-1 with a closeout game tonight in New York. The Mets do have their three best pitchers lined up, but they haven't looked that great in this series. It looks like that team is basically out of gas, and now they're making mental errors that is starting to really cost them even more. Obviously, last night I'm talking specifically about that terrible base running gaff to end the game by Cespedes. There's a runner in front of him with one out. Why is he moving? Why is he running? What is the matter with Cespedes? It's one of the worst base running plays I've ever seen in the playoffs. There's no excuse for it. It's absolutely inexcusable. Inexcusable. I don't know why it happened. I can't explain how it happened. It was terrible. And it probably cost them the series, to be completely honest. They got back into it. They won a game. They were 2-1. They were leading this game, but granted, that base running error didn't cost them. That was a little bit earlier on with Murphy with a really bad gaffe of his own, an error that really did kind of set things in motion. So it's a tough one for the Mets. This is just a team. It's very much similar to what happened to the Cubs. They just kind of ran out of gas. And the Mets ran out of gas a round later. And I honestly think that Kansas City is a better team. The way they played in the playoffs and how they played in the World Series has really shown, I think, everybody that this is a team that really they're going to win this thing. They've earned it. And so moving on from that, it really is a situation to behold. Good for Kansas City. I can't hate Kansas City. It's like weird. Kansas City is one of those places. How are you going to hate the Royals? What's the point of hating hating the Yankees? I get. Hating the Packers? I get. Hating the Cowboys? Understand it. Hating the Montreal Canadiens? I understand that. I understand hating these teams. I understand hating the Chicago Blackhawks. I understand hating the Bears, the Bulls. I understand hating these teams. Why are you going to hate Kansas City Royals? It's like I'm hating the Mets. I get that. But I can't bring myself to hate Kansas City. Would it shock me if the Mets were able to pull something crazy here and win a game or two, possibly all three of the next? No, it wouldn't shock me. Tonight, they're at home. They have a good chance. Here, who they got going tonight? I believe they have either Harvey or Syndergaard, one of the two, or maybe even DeGrom. I'm not sure. But it's one of the three. So, whoever they got going tonight, they're going to have good opportunities. So it's not like they're completely out of it. But usually when games end the way that last night's game did, it's really hard to come back from. Because now it's not the physical skills on the diamond that is ending your season. It's the mental errors. And two big ones is what cost them the game last night. And sometimes that's just too much to come back from. So it could be cuttings for the Mets. But, hey, they got nothing to be ashamed of. They absolutely competed when nobody thought they were going to this year. So they should be very happy with their season. Not sure what the future is going to hold because that offense is probably going to get broken up a little bit in the offseason. Not so sure about the pitching, but we'll see. It's going to be quite interesting to see how that goes long term. Do the Mets finally make a move and get rid of some of their pitching for some offense? Because they're going to need to, because they're going to lose some pieces here after the season's over. So it's going to be interesting. But it's been a hell of a season. As a Cubs fan, I couldn't have been more happy with the way the season has gone. Yes, I would have liked the Cubs to go on farther, but hey, it is what it is. So if it is over tonight, congratulations to the Royals. And, of course, we'll talk about it over the next few days. Moving on. Ian Sloan says, Dave, have you seen the latest Up, Up, Down, Down with Sasha Banks? She looked great. Yes, I did see the latest episode of Up, Up, Down, Down. The last two, in fact, have been really good. The last two Superstar Save Points, I should say, with her and Mikaze, where we finally learned just who the hell Mikaze is. And his association with wrestling. He's been around a long time. He's known a lot of guys, but he's the costume designer. I've also heard that he's dating Sasha Banks. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but that would make sense as well. It also looked like Mr. Xavier Woods and Sasha had something going, but I don't think so because I believe he just got married to someone else, but I'm not sure. Sasha looks smoking hot. She's so awesome, man. So if you didn't like Sasha Banks before, if you saw her on this episode of Up, Up, Down, Down, I think you got to really start to like her even more. She's a nerd. She's like us in a lot of ways, you know. She's a big Sailor Moon fan. In fact, they were playing Sailor Moon, which is like Streets of Rage version of Sailor Moon. It's just a nice little beat-em-up game. It was fun. It was a lot of fun to watch. I think people enjoyed it. I think she came off very well, very likable. She's just so pretty. She's naturally beautiful. So it was exciting to have her on there. So it was cool. I hope you guys liked that episode of Up, Up, Down, Down. And if you're not watching Up, Up, Down, Down, what the hell's the matter with you? Go watch Up, Up, Down, Down because it's incredible. It's incredible. It's really, really good. You get to see all of these things that you just normally don't get to see. You get to really learn about these people just outside of wrestling. It's just a lot of fun. So Pittsburgh Boy says, Dave, would you like to know what I had last night just for the hell of it? No, not during a show. No. If you want to call in and give me a quick ramble down of what you had to drink, sure. But no, I'm not going to stop the show to get your alcohol shopping list from last night. No. Why would I do that? That's insane. It's a show. Barely. Granted, it's barely a show, but it's a show nonetheless. Speaking of which, to support the show and the channel, because we are on our way to 1,600 subs, getting there rather quickly, moseying on through the 1,500s, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video. Also, if you feel like supporting, you can do so in a number of ways. You can go grab yourself a shirt over at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. We got all kinds of cool shirts up there now, all redone and revitalized by the one, the only, the copious graphics guru, Sal from White Death Graphics. Make sure you check him out, White Dead Graphics at Gmail, if you want to get your nice little graphics for your channel or your project. He can do that for you, so make sure you check him out there. Also, so go check out the shirts over at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. We got the copious shirt, which is somewhere here. I don't know if you can even see it anymore, but we got plenty of other stuff there, including the Poe Honey on your titty shirt. It's there as well, so make sure you check that out. And if you feel like donating to the channel and helping us keeping all these really cool things going with the number 702-751-2902, which is you guys, it's funded by you guys, make sure that you donate to the channel if you're so inclined. Right in the description box below, and donate. You'll get the whole shebang-a-bang with the $1 million laugh, if the sound's working, which I'm not sure it is. But all that good stuff, you can go ahead and donate to the channel right there. So there you go. Thank you. But make sure, above all else, you like and subscribe. If you haven't done so, like and subscribe. We'll be taking your calls throughout the show, too. If you feel like giving an old ring to your favorite fat man and talk about whatever you want to talk about in sports, wrestling, or anything else, you can do so. But until that happens, it's time to talk about something that I really want to get into. Television shows, man. I don't talk a lot about TV shows, but one came out that I've been very excited about for a long time because I'm an absolute mark for this actor. And the show came out, and it was every bit as great as I thought it was going to be. And, of course, I'm talking about Ash versus the Evil Dead. Ash versus the Evil Dead on Starz. It's on Starz. That means that there's cussing and all kinds of crazy shit. It's not PG, so you guys should all love it. Absolutely awesomeness that this show is not only out, but great. I was really worried because sometimes taking something like Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, and that character, and trying to transition it to television isn't going to work. It's not going to work. But Sam Raimi, very long-time director, has never done television before. He's transitioned well into directing television because the first episode of Ash vs. the Evil Dead is out, and it's fucking awesome. You got to check this out. It picks up the story 30 years later from Army of Darkness. Ash is back in reality, and he's still working at a convenience store, basically a big box store, whatever you want to call it, but no longer S-Mart. Now it's like Value Mart or something like that. So he is working there. He has the Necronomicon in his trailer. He's in a goddamn trailer, and he reads from it accidentally while having some kind of sex with this weird foreign chick. And then, boom, The Evil Dead is released once again because Ash has not grown up in his 30 years since coming back from medieval times. No, he's still just a big blowhard who wants to fuck a lot, drink a lot, and just be, gliding by at the bottom of humanity. He doesn't want to approach his destiny, his greatness, if you will. So now he's forced to. He is absolutely forced into it because the zombies are back. The evil is back amongst the land. And only Ash, El Jefe, as his cohort calls him, could possibly stand up against it. Look, there's a lot of campy stuff in it. It's if you're familiar with Evil Dead, if you're familiar with Army of Darkness, if you're familiar with Sam Raimi, especially when he does horror movies, you're going to really dig this because it's more of the same. You got the real over-the-top animation sequences when the the zombies come to life and everything. Really cool practical effects to go along with some of the CGI. Just some really good work there. Lucy Lawless is in there. Xena, she had a very small part in the first episode, but she's there. And of course, the reason to watch is Bruce fucking Campbell. Let's face it, he is the god of the B movie, and now he's the god of the B television show. It really is well done. It's not as campy and as hokey. It doesn't, it's still every bit as campy and as hokey as I thought it was going to be, but it's not done poorly. And that's the cool thing. When it's done poorly, that's the issue. That's where you're going to turn off and not want to watch it. This, I highly recommend you checking it out. It's on Starz, Ash versus the Evil Dead, and it really is awesome, man. I absolutely had a blast in the first episode. I can't wait for more. I love the show, and I want to watch. I wish I could just binge watch it right now. In fact, it's made me go back and want to watch Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness, man, because it's just that cool. So, are you guys checking out Ash vs. the Evil Dead? I know it could be a little bit, this is not for the kids, it's a very old character, a very old actor, and he may not be your cup of tea, but the show is incredibly well done. It's bloody, it's violent, it's gory, it's graphic, it's awesome. It's so much fun. So much fun. And I'm so glad that all these TV shows that I love so much have come back. I have not watched any of the other supernatural type shows, well, instead of Supernatural, of course, that have come back that I like, the originals and Sleepy Hollow and all that stuff. I haven't watched this season. That even Grimm I haven't even started watching because I stopped halfway through last season. So to have a show that I'm just fully enamored with again is great. One episode in, couldn't be happier. I need something to do until I get more Orphan Black. Does anyone know what the hell Dave is talking about, Isaac A? Ash vs. the Evil Dead, man. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with you, man? I don't know what the hell to tell you. It's Ash vs. the Evil Dead. It's a great show. Go look it up, you kids. Damn you kids, get off my lawn. The hell? I don't even know what to say to you guys right now. If you don't like Ash vs. the Evil Dead, then there's something wrong with you. Just let him ramble. Fuck you. You know what? Go fuck yourself, man. All right. Well, let's focus this back into wrestling before I get out of here. It doesn't look like we're going to get any callers today. So this will probably just be a fun little show just for you guys who showed up. So The Flash, I haven't checked out The Flash yet, but I am going to definitely watch it. I'm backlogged. I need to watch so many things. But, hey, let's talk about this week in wrestling, man. It's been a pretty damn good week for WWE. If you're a WWE fan, it's been a pretty damn good week, I'd say. Dare to say great week. I know that's a scary word to throw out there, but it's a pretty damn great week overall. Let's face it, we got awesomeness in the form of Hell in a Cell, which I think really did take some people by surprise. Legitimately took people by surprise. Monday Night Raw was maybe top 3 Raw of the year this year. It was so amazingly good, but all the matches, the emphasis on everything. So that was great. Then we got NXT, which was good as always, and SmackDown really did cap off the week quite well. So my question to you guys is, what's your favorite wrestling event of the week? Doesn't have to be WWE. Let me know in the chat below. Let's take a call, man. 540, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, Dave, what's up?
What's crack-a-lackin', man?
Hey, it's Pittsburgh.
I thought you weren't calling in, drunko.
Well, you sounds like you really wanted to call, so I thought I'd call in.
What?
Sounds like you really wanted to call her, so I called in.
Not really. I'm getting ready to wrap it up. Not really.
You are.
Yeah, because football's about to start in a half hour and stuff, and we don't got a lot of people watching right now. So, yeah, probably won't be rambling too much longer. What you got for me?
I'm just calling to see how your day was yesterday.
Well, I took my daughter out. This isn't... What's the matter with you? You're too drunk. I'm sorry. Hungover.
No, last night... Yeah.
Did you throw up?
Well, of course. I mean, this morning, absolutely. I was.
Now I have to throw you over the top rope for puking. You got to be stronger. Have a stronger stomach.
Well, if you look in the chat, you could see what all I had.
I did see it. I'm not going to read off your damn laundry list of alcohol. Look, I'm not here to advocate alcohol poisoning to the masses, Pittsburgh. I'm a responsible guy who doesn't do any drinking on the air ever.
I'm a college student, man.
Well, you keep enjoying your college life, my friend.
All right.
Take it easy, buddy, and make sure that you're feeling good enough to join me for a Monday Night Raw review tomorrow, bud.
Oh, definitely. I'll be there.
All right, man. Take it easy, Pittsburgh. Appreciate the call, Pittsburgh boy. Isaac A., we want football. I don't think anybody does. I can tell you about how I farted really good. I can tell you how badly the Panthers suck. It really bugs me that they're still undefeated. It really does. It bugs the piss out of me because it shouldn't be the case, but it is. They've ran into an absolute just luck fest of a schedule, but that's okay. Here's what I'll do for you football heads, and if you need something to get your mind around some football, well, I'll give you a little bit of football talk before we get out of here. I'll give you my picks for this week. On Yahoo, I am 64-42 this year, which is actually 67th in my current group of fans of Chicago, so that's pretty good. 64-42, 64 correct picks, 42 incorrect picks, which is not terrible. I started off the year like on a terrible run. So here's what I got this week. I'm already 0-1. I took Miami over New England. I thought an upset was possible. I was wrong. Badly wrong. But it seems like I have rectified today because I took Kansas City over Detroit. And right now Kansas City is romping over Detroit 45-10. We got Atlanta at home against Tampa Bay, and I am not a Tampa Bay guy, obviously. I don't like Tampa, but I do like me some Atlanta, so I went with the Falcones. Before I go into it, let's talk some more Pittsburgh Boys, Steelers versus Bengals. We'll get there. A little bit of fantasy question. Who should I start, Big Ben or Andy Dalton, Des Bryant or Steve Smith? Andy Dalton, Steve Smith. Des Bryant, I don't know how he's going to do today. He still doesn't have any semblance of a quarterback throwing to him. So Des Bryant in a comeback game, I'm not really sure. Big Ben, he's also coming back. And the Cincinnati defense, look, if you have anyone to start besides Big Ben and Andy, then that's who you should start. Because I have Andy Dalton. He's one of the top performers in fantasy, and I'm not even starting him. I'm starting Carson Palmer over him. Because it's a rivalry game, and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati always plays each other hard. They're usually low-scoring contests, so I'm not expecting either quarterback to have a big game. But if you only have those two, and that's who you have to make the decision between, you go with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, I think he's going to do just fine. Big Ben has the bigger upside because of all the weapons that he has on the team, but arguably Andy Dalton has just as many weapons. Coming off an injury, it's just a little bit too big of a risk to start Big Ben, in my opinion. So that's why. Yes, Isaac A. says 6 of those you got wrong were probably picking the Panthers to lose. Yeah. No, I picked them early to win because they played nobody the first 4 weeks. But, yeah, I did pick them to lose the other games. All right, Atlanta, I got them beating Tampa Bay. Chicago at home against Minnesota. I am taking Chicago here over Minnesota. I think coming off the bye, I think Chicago's got enough to upset Minnesota, which I don't even think is a big upset because I don't think Minnesota's all that great. Adrian Peterson has a little bit of injury concern, but not much. I like Chicago's offense. They have no defense, but I really like their offense. Everyone's healthy now on offense. They should be getting it going. I'm expecting a shootout of sorts in Chicago today. I like the Bears. And a big upset. I don't think anyone's picking them. Arizona on the road against Cleveland. Cleveland's played much better against teams lately, but I think today that all stops. Arizona's going to romp and stomp all over that Cleveland defense. Arizona should have a laugher today, but it's a trap game. It's a trap game. As Admiral Akbar would say, it's a trap. So be careful about that. There is always that possibility. St. Louis at home against San Francisco. I like the way the Rams have been playing lately, so I'm going with the Rams. San Francisco, they're basically beating the shit out of each other in the locker room, fighting over who should be quarterback. So you go with the Rams. By the way, has anyone been a bigger disappointment than Colin Kaepernick? Has there a bigger disappointment than Colin friggin' Kaepernick? Holy God. New Orleans at home against the Giants. This is not an easy game to pick. I like the Giants a little bit more than New Orleans. New Orleans has been playing a little bit better lately, but I like the Giants here. You know what? I think I'm going to switch my pick. I am going to switch my pick. I like what the Saints did last week. They're at home. They're hard to beat at home. The Giants, like if Victor Cruz was healthy, I don't know if he is or not, I'd be much happier in picking them. They got a good win last week, but I think the Saints had a little bit better of a win. This is a tough game to pick. I'm going to go with the Saints. Switching my pick here, mainly because New Orleans is at home. I might regret that one. Cincinnati on the road against Pittsburgh. Division game, rivalry. I like Cincinnati. I know that Ben is back, and that is a big thing. It's probably going to be a shootout. There could be a more high-scoring game than I thought. Usually these games are low-scoring, but, if the weather's anywhere near as bad as it could be, these are two very, very good offenses. I think Cincinnati's got a little bit more on defense, but we'll see what happens. This Pittsburgh is going to go as far as Ben Roethlisberger takes them today, because I think without him, if it's Landry Jones taking over again, I just don't think there's enough to. He's not going to be able to beat that Cincinnati defense. Ben can if he's healthy. We'll see just how healthy he is, but I like Cincinnati. I just think they have too much. They got a little bit more defense than Pittsburgh, and I do like their offense. That being said, Pittsburgh offense, when it rolls, is fantastically good. So this is another game that could be a shock, but I'm going with Cincinnati. Baltimore at home against San Diego, the Whale Vaginas. I can't bring myself to pick Baltimore again. They probably should win this game. I like San Diego. They got blown out last week. I understand they're like 2-5 now. I still like the team, but maybe I can't pick them here. Baltimore at home is still tough to beat. I think they might. You know what? I'm switching my pick here. I'm going to Baltimore. I'm getting off the San Diego train. I've been defending them for weeks. I'm done defending them. Houston at home against Tennessee. Houston is an absolute mess. Tennessee's not too much better. I'm going with Tennessee, though. Houston's got no running back. They got no quarterback. I mean, come on. You got Tennessee has got a little bit more going on. Mettenberger did his job quite well. I like Tennessee here. New York Jets on the road against Oakland. Oakland has been really, really good at times. Frickin' Derek Carr is really starting to convince me that he can be a star of a quarterback in this league. I don't think they have enough against the Jets. I like what they do. Fitzpatrick just plays football A to B. He gets you A to B and not much more than that. So even in the black hole, I like the Jets. Jets. Seattle in Dallas with the return of Dez Bryant. I don't think it's going to matter that much. Seattle, their defense has not been playing fantastically well, but it should be more than enough to be able to keep a probably less than 100% Dez Bryant from taking over the game. If Tony Romo was playing, I'd be more inclined to go with Dallas. If you have Darren McFadden, probably a good start today. He had a really good game last week. I think he can have another really solid game this week. I think Dez is going to be a little bit of a decoy, especially early on. It wouldn't surprise me if Darren McFadden broke a couple big runs early in the game, because I think they're going to be a little bit heavy on Dez. They're going to be hitting him, bump and run and all that good stuff. And I think it could cause a assignment mix-up, and McFadden might be able to break one early. So just keep that in mind. I know I have him started today, and it might not seem the most ideal matchup, but I think he's going to have a surprisingly good game because they're going to need him. They're going to need that running game, and really he's the top back they have now. With Randall getting hurt, I think that McFadden's a little bit better than Dunbar, so you go with McFadden here, and I think you're going to have to ride him early if you want any chance of getting Dez into the game later on. So that's just my opinion there. So I'm going with Seattle. I think they have a little bit. They obviously have more on defense. And that offense, I'm really looking for to start clicking. Is it ever going to click? Jesus, man. Jimmy Graham. You got Jimmy Graham. Click him. Click him. Come on. Green Bay. Battle of the Undefeateds, I believe. Green Bay and Denver. I hate doing this because I'm a Bear fan. But I got to pick Green Bay. And it's not because I think Green Bay is a markedly better team than Denver, because I don't. I think Denver's got the better defense here. I like what they do, but here's the problem. Peyton Manning is not winning games anymore because you took the offense away from him. You know, Gary Kubiak thinks he knows best, and his offense, because of the offensive change, he's taking the game plan out of Manning's hand. We don't know if it's a declining health of Peyton Manning or it's the fact that he's not able to run the offense the way he sees fit that is causing this decline. I think Kubiak has done him a disservice by not letting him be Peyton Manning. You got to let Peyton Manning be Peyton Manning. I think he's earned it at this point. I did not like Kubiak coming in saying, Peyton, you no longer get to make the calls on the field. I think that's absolutely stupid, especially because what he's done with Denver since he's been there. It made absolutely no sense to me. And yes, Denver has won, but they've just lucked out in so many of these games and lucked into victories. They're backing into wins. They're not going to be able to do that against Green Bay. It's too good of a team. It's too good of an offense and too good of an Aaron Rodgers. So I like Green Bay there. Finally, Monday night, Carolina at home against Indianapolis. Give me Indy, motherfuckers. Give me Indy. I'm looking for the loss of Carolina. They're losing this fucking game by hook or by crook. We're done with the goddamn motherfucking win streak. It's over. It's done. It's fucking final. Carolina is losing this week. Fuck. I can't take it no more. It's done. Fuck. Jesus Christ. So, yes, they're done. Yeah, done. Done. So that's it. That's all I got. I think that's about going to do it. DJ Cage, hey Dave, do you remember when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl back-to-back? Do they have a chance this year? No, they don't have a chance to win, no. Yes, I remember it, even though I was like 9. No, they don't. Look, can they make a run when Romo comes back if he's not out for the year, which I'm not actually sure if he is? Yeah, they got a lot of talent, but no, I don't see it happening. Could be wrong. Don't think so though, but we'll see. I guess that's what it comes down to. I want to give a good answer here, but I want to make sure that I'm not wrong here. I'm not even sure if is Steve Smith even still, is he hurt? He might be hurt. I don't know if the guy's even hurt. If Steve Smith is playing, he's a better option than Moncrief. So, looks like he's playing as far as I know. Looks like it. He's listed as probable for the game against the Chargers. So, he's listed as probable, so he's probably going to go. He should be good to go. Go with Steve Smith over Moncrief. That's my choice there. Let's take a quick call before we get up out of here. Rod the Entertainer, man, I was getting ready to leave. What's up?
I was just going to let you know that I'm back in the community. That is what I'm calling to tell you. I'm sorry I have not called lately.
It's okay. I didn't even realize.
Didn't even realize I haven't been here. You asshole, Dave.
My life doesn't revolve around you.
But it did at one point, Dave. You got to know what we had, Davey boy.
No, it never did. That has never been true.
I mean, I like you. I thought it was first your daughter, then your wife, then wrestling, then me. I thought that was how we agreed on this. I mean,
because you didn't put me in there. I'm more important than any of that other stuff. No, what's the matter with you?
Well, see, when you look at psychology, I'm taking a psychology.
Oh course. God.
You look
at Here we go.
No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna go into that.
I thought you were gonna psychoanalyze me. Good luck.
Oh, of course not.
Getting into that, God. You don't want to get into this mind. You may never make it out.
that can of worms.
Yeah, it's a bad can of worms.
Yeah, just going to say also really quick. I know everybody's talked about the pay-per-view to death, Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
But that last match really revitalized my fandom of wrestling a lot. Because
I liked the entire damn pay-per-view.
I did too. Don't get me wrong. I thought it was very good. I still think Roman does that stupid drop kick thing too much. He did that 3 times in one match. I'm like, what the fuck? Come on, man. That's a lot to do. Like a side suplex. Not to mention something that has to be set up. But anyways, other than that, I thought it was a fantastic fucking.
I loved the main event. I loved the main event. It was good.
Yeah, and but the main event, it just felt so. Even though I don't know if they bladed or not, according to I know you don't really trust him, but
Meltzer,
according to Dave from Wrestling Meltzer, he said they didn't blade. But
look, Brock bladed. Brock had when he hit the post, his hands were on his head. Brock fucking bladed. I know that he had a whole bunch of stitches. I get that. I just think he sliced his goddamn head too much. That motherfucker bladed. Where else did he get hit? His hands were on his head.
What will the WWE do? What would they have done? That's what people always like. Oh, they shouldn't have done that. They're gonna piss off Vince. I'm like, Vince isn't gonna do shit to those two. Those guys are unfucking touchable.
Vince does not.
There's
care.
Nothing they can.
Vince might have got. I heard he got a little animated about it in the back. Whether or not that's true or not, probably not. He might have put on a little bit of show to show some of the younger guys not to go against his stuff, but he doesn't give a fuck about it. If the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar want to go ahead and blade and show some blood, he doesn't give a shit about that. Just like he didn't care. Now I know they fined Triple H when they did those unprotected headshots at WrestleMania, him and the Undertaker. I don't believe it for a second. Not for a second that they got fined for that. It was awesome.
No.
Like last week, that pay-per-view was awesome. And
plus also, it's not that juicing is necessary in wrestling. I don't believe it is personally. I think it adds believability and legitimacy to certain kinds of matches.
Sure.
For me, I think pay-per-views like Extreme Rules should not exist in this era. I don't think that it has a place personally.
I think that's fair.
Because number one, they don't really do. I mean, not only they don't do headshots anymore, they just don't do as much extreme stuff anymore. So we're always kind of let down by that pay-per-view. And it's not that we want to see guys hurt each other. Maybe it is.
Well, some people do. Some people are sick. They want to see blood. They want to see carnage. They want to see people going through barbed wire and shit. That's never been my thing. That's never been my whole thing.
I can take. It's very. What's the word for that? It's gimmicky.
It is
the whole. Which is fine to see on occasion. Like I saw actually a really good match, but it was incredibly brutal. It was between I forgot his name. It was something Young, not Darren Young, and it was between him and John Moxley when Dean Ambrose was still John Moxley, and it was one of the most. Sometimes it's just a sight to see when those guys decide to do some shit. It's not that you want to see them hurt, but it's like holy shit, this guy's doing this thing.
Yeah.
Like obviously that wears off quick, and you can only do it occasionally. But, it's the same kind of pop that the Hardys used to get back in the day when they jump off like a fucking ladder 80 feet up in the air. And,
Well, sure. We pop for it because it's incredible that we're seeing humans do this to each other. It is incredible. But I do think you can become desensitized to it. I think it's pretty easy to become desensitized to it. I think it does still have a place in wrestling. And I think it needs to be used moderately. And I think that some of these guys, the veterans like Brock and Taker, they know when to use it and when not to. And I think in Hell in a Cell, that's definitely an appropriate place for it. No question.
In that spot with the tearing up of the mat was incredible. I heard somebody, I think maybe on your show possibly, I'm not sure. I don't really listen to any other show, but other than I listen to some podcasts and stuff, but when somebody said that it happened at the last what's the big TNA thing, Slammiversary?
Yeah, Bully Ray did it. Called? Bully Ray did it back in 2013. He did it to AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, but wow, I gotta go back and watch that match.
And apparently he was doing it quite often. I wasn't watching during that time because I couldn't stand the Bully Ray gimmick. I didn't like it.
I don't think anybody watches TNA ever. I don't think that's a thing that happens.
But that was actually a pretty damn good feud that they had. And that match, I went back and watched it because someone was telling me, hey, he did this then. So I went and watched it, and it was pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
But
AJ
he did a
Styles
little bit
is-
differently, though.
Really?
Yeah, it's
What
not.
did he do?
He went from the outside and peeled back the entire half of it. I like that Brock viscerally ripped a section out of the center and
I wonder
planted
if he
him
used
there.
that blade. I
I
wonder
thought
if he
that
used
was
that
awesome.
blade to cut that open.
Yeah, he did. He used the same blade probably.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, how else did he just rip through that like it's nothing? Because
The funny
something
thing
tells
is,
me
I
it's
think
not
it
as
happened.
easy.
I'm not sure about this, but I think that it happened when he went to hit the Undertaker with the steel steps. And he slammed the steps into the mat, and I thought I saw it rip then, but I don't know. I didn't go back and check.
Possibly so. I mean, that whole match, the blood fit really well with the MMA style. Some of those punches Brock was throwing when Undertaker was on the ground were just incredible. I was like, holy, those are legitimate UFC strikes. Like those are.
Brock
those two guys.
Brock was hitting some serious shit. Brock was hitting some
Yeah, he
blows
was.
on him. That was awesome.
I think Undertaker, obviously, I think both those guys just agreed, let's beat the living shit out of each other. Since this is going to be our last time. I don't know if it is, but, it's announced to be our last time.
Yeah. I think
leave
it
it
is.
all
I
out
think
there
it's done.
for-
I don't know if The Undertaker can do another fight like that. I think we're going to see now him transitioning to matches that he can handle, like with this Wyatt situation. But we're not going to see him in another war like that. At least we shouldn't. He's 50. I think he can take a break.
Yeah. You don't want another Sting scenario where you keep on pushing yourself too far until eventually, you can't do it at all anymore. And Sting could have some possibly big, impact on his life based on the injury that he...
From what I'm hearing, he's fine.
Really?
Yeah, that's
because I remember when it happened. people
Seth
were like,
Rollins was talking about it. In fact, that he talks to Sting, and Sting's doing pretty good. And Sting's manager put out a big thing talking about his health and everything. It was just a situation that happened in the moment. He seems to be okay from it, and he might even be okay to wrestle again. Believe it or not.
That's really good to hear because I was really worried about him. I have a heart for wrestlers, especially wrestlers that aren't necessarily. I mean, I guess as a wrestler, you are agreeing to put your body on the line, but versus like a Mick Foley, it's like what'd you expect, buddy? But
goddamn,
but guys who just like Sting just took a normal bump and it I thought it was basically
well, I wouldn't call it normal. Getting power bombed into a corner isn't exactly normal, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. I've always thought that move looked a little bit awkward. I don't know why. Just the way that they hit and everything just doesn't look quite like some of the most violent and dangerous moves don't even look that good.
True.
It's just like well. I don't know what it is about that move, but just the way that they land and they're holding themselves up by the rope, I don't know. Just not a huge fan of it. But basically that whole pay-per-view, to me, I gave it a 9 just off of that final match. People always are like, yeah, there was one good match in a pay-per-view, but if it's a great match that you will remember forever, and not that the rest of it wasn't good, it's just that was the most memorable part of it. People underrate the fact that one match can make especially a minor pay-per-view. So even if you hated for whatever reason every match before that, you have to give that at least an 8 to me because we will talk about that for years.
And the cool thing was the whole night was good except for you can make the argument that Seth and Kane wasn't great. They weren't.
Ryback and
but that's
Owens
Kane's fault. But that Kevin Owens Ryback match was absolute garbage. It was horrible, and it pains me to say that about Kevin Owens.
I don't think it was like you said.
It wasn't his fault.
I don't think it was his fault.
No.
It was Ryback. For whatever reason, they just didn't prepare a good match. For whatever reason, they should have put the Divas match there. It may have been because it was meant to be a bathroom. Wasn't it right before the main event?
It was.
So that may have been a bathroom type match. It might have told him
it could have been, but that's a mistake. To do that to Kevin Owens is a mistake. That doesn't make me
especially
feel
with the
any better.
Divas who tried to put on a Sasha Banks and Bayley type match, but
that match wasn't bad, man. That match was not bad in my eyes. I thought that was a good match. They're not. They're not Sasha and Bayley. They're not. No one's ever going to confuse them to be, but. Nikki Bella went to the absolute max of her athleticism, and I thought she did a great job. I liked that match. I really did.
We might have to agree to disagree on Nikki, but I think she was athletic, but she's
no, she wasn't athletic.
Some of the
No, you're misunderstanding. She wasn't athletic. She pushed herself to the maximum of her athletic capabilities.
Okay, got you.
Big
It's like me
difference.
running outside and then getting out of breath in like 5 seconds and be like, "Oh, that was it for me." But obviously,
I
Nikki feels
thought,
more
look,
athletic than my time.
she worked a really classic type match where she was doing all the cool things that you want. She worked a body part. I thought she's improved so much. And then Charlotte did her thing. I liked the match, man. I thought it was good.
Yeah. I'm really getting really tired. The last thing I'm gonna say, getting really fucking tired of her high school girl gimmick. I'm really getting tired of that high school bully girl gimmick.
The mean girl. Doesn't bug me
Yes,
that much.
it's. I mean, listen to the way a lot of the divas talk, but then listen to the way Nikki talks.
It serves a purpose.
Because some of them, but it's just so every week is the same promo. Loser, like what?
See,
like I'm just
the last few
damn it,
weeks
she dragged you.
the last few weeks she's cut that shit out. She's cut that shit
Really?
out the last few weeks. Yeah.
I haven't really
That's why I've been
noticed
giving her a little bit credit the last couple of weeks because I felt her matches were really good the last couple of weeks and her promos were not as insufferably bad. She's kind of cut it out.
Yeah, I guess Bree's career is officially dead because she's.
Was it ever really alive?
That's true. Well, at one point, she was a better wrestler than her sister. At one point,
That's not saying much.
that's true.
That's
true.
like
That was
like
with the
saying what
Divas.
pubic hair is longer. Hey, look, this pubic hair is longer than this pubic hair. It's still on your nuts at the end of the day. You know?
That's true. All the ones on the nuts are longer. That's a good point, Dave.
Terry in the chat says, hello, amazing, copious one. Hello, my dear Snow Queen Terry. Glad you can join us. But, yeah, you got anything else before I throw your ass out of here?
Not really. Not really. The game's really good. Bought WWE 2K16. Good game. I enjoy it. So if you get it on PC, go ahead or on Steam, go ahead and get that.
It's on Steam?
No, I said if it is.
If it gets on Steam, it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, because they've even made like arenas like the old like Mid-South Arena.
That's cool.
The old like they have like the New Japan Arena where the like canvas is blue. It's really cool.
I heard it's Modder's Paradise, man.
Yeah, I bet so. I haven't got to see any of that, but as far as the creation and everything, it's great. It's still got some bugs, but they'll hopefully patch some of those up. Yeah, it was a really good purchase. So I was kind of just announcing my comeback to Dead on Dave. Not that anybody gave a shit.
No,
but
the crowd went
I'm
mild.
still outlasting some.
The crowd went mild. It's okay. You did a good job. I appreciate you coming on and having a good conversation with me. I appreciate it.
No problem. You have a great day.
All right, buddy. Take it
or night,
easy.
whatever time it is.
It's nighttime.
All right.
Take it easy, Ra.
All right, man. See you.
Peace. Ra the Entertainer, everybody. He entertains all of us. Now I want to go ahead and close the show here with a couple of things. Yes, it's getting a little bit of traction in the chat that Carey Price is hurt. Yes, he is. They called up a goaltender from the AHL. But the other big news coming out of the NHL is Patrick Kane. It looks like he will officially not be charged with a crime. Gone, done, it's over. Probably in one of the least surprising news in sports history, Patrick Kane's not getting charged with a crime in this sexual assault case. Why? Because there's no fucking evidence that he raped this this girl. He didn't rape her. There's no evidence to it. So it looks like that is going away. We'll see. Danny310 in chat. What's up? What's up, Danny? So, so it is what it is. It is what it is, man. People are, I guess you could buy your way out of anything. That's not the case. Look, there's simply no evidence to the supports that he raped anybody. So, all you goddamn femme Nazis out there who are going crazy, they're 1 in 5, all that crazy fucking bullshit, you can calm the fuck down. Or no, this is going to cause, because here's the thing. This was never about whether Patrick Kane committed a crime. It was about innocence before guilt. And people want you to be guilty before innocent, and that's it. That's it. If there's an accusation, you're fucking guilty. That's the agenda that they're pushing for. It has nothing to do with anything else. It had nothing to do with that girl. Had she gotten raped, had nothing to do with her, had nothing to do with Patrick Kane. It had all to do with what's going on in college campuses all across the fucking United States. Accusations, kangaroo courts, and fucking absolute terrible, terrible execution of justice. That's what's happening. A simple accusation is enough to get you thrown out of college nowadays because they got these damn kangaroo courts that try you there instead of in an actual court of law. Because they don't care about fucking innocence before guilty. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? Innocent until proven guilty? Not anymore, man. Not anymore. Not anymore. Terry says people will still prosecute him anyway. Persecute, not prosecute. they might chant at him and stuff, some people, but that's because people are stupid. They'll chant anything. He won't be prosecuted for a goddamn thing. Persecution, prosecution, who knows? Different things altogether. But Patrick Kane getting off, and from everything that's been released, it's the absolute right move. Doesn't seem to have done a fucking thing wrong other than being a young, handsome hockey player, rich guy, goes out and fucks women at bars. Choose carefully. That's it. That's it. More than likely, this video here is going to be just for you guys who decide to watch it live, because if you did watch probably the first 3 minutes, there's no audio because I did not turn on my microphone. Proving once again that I'm horrible at everything I do. At least I didn't lie to you. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, share. You guys are probably going to be the only ones to watch this special video. The NFL games are starting, so we're going to get up out of here. Make sure you check out everything else that's going on the channel. We had a great unboxing yesterday, horror block with my daughter. It's awesome. I got this great shirt. And I did my top 10 favorite horror comedy movies of all time. And if you guys want to see more of that, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter and tell me what genre of movie or television show you'd like me to talk about next, and I'll do that. I don't have a problem with it at all. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. Right here on Dead on Dave Productions, man. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace.